Yo, what is going on everyone? Guiding Light here, and in this video I'm bringing you guys the ultimate guide to everything that you need to know about the endgame here in the first Descendant. So we're going to be going over exactly what you need to farm, where you need to farm, what Descendants to use, exactly what mods that you want to get, exactly everything basically you're going to need to get ready to defeat the hard mode activities and the hard mode bosses. Because once you get done with the story, you may be realizing you're kind of stuck. A lot of the hard mode activities just seem a little too tough, and the game doesn't exactly explain step by step everything that you need to do. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys step by step from beginning to end, the first things that you want to do to the last things that you want to do so that you can get ready and prepared for hard mode and to get finished with those hard mode bosses. So the very first thing that I'm going to suggest that you guys do is come over to the resource lab. There's very specific things that you do want to start building early, as they do have a very long time to build, like 36 hours. They may only take a few hours to get the components for. However, they do take up to 30 hours to build, and they're very important when going after hard mode. So I do suggest coming here to the resource lab and beginning to farm these first. That's going to be the first thing. That way, while they're being built, you can get all of the other steps done. And then by the time that 36 hours is up, you should be able to go on and defeat the hard mode bosses, even if you don't have one of the ultimate characters. So when you come into the resource lab, the first things that you do want to begin to build are going to be these precision ion accelerators and the phase exchangers. You can also start a build of the adjustment control axis, and I'll show you exactly why you will need all three of these items here. They are very important when trying to level up and prepare for hard mode. So start these builds. These don't take as long as the 36-hour components. These might only take 30 minutes or so, but if you start them first, you can go ahead and start using them pretty early. Now the next thing that you want to do is go after these crystallization catalysts and the energy activators. The reason why is because what you'll do with them is you'll slot them into your character's Descendant module slot, and it will give you extra benefits, extra points in which you can spend on these mods. So since they take 36 hours to build, you want to start building them. I've made guides on how you can farm all the materials for these, so they won't take as long as you think to get. Get the materials for those two and start building them immediately because they take 36 hours. Now, once you guys are done with that, what you do is you come over here. You're going to go to the weapon upgrade station, and I'm going to show you guys exactly why you want these materials. So in this box, you can go and you can use the weapon readjustment. You probably already know about this, but what it does is it actually makes it so you can re-roll all the weapons you have. It's going to make them stronger. It's going to make them be re-rolled in case you want to use them against certain bosses. There's a lot of things you can do with it. But what you need, the component you need in order to activate this reroll, are those components I was telling you to build. Also, these reactor enhancements, these are going to become very important as well. If you start getting the gold or the ultimate reactors, you'll notice they take 15 of these to level up. This is going to make your character extremely powerful. It's going to power you up a lot. And so eventually when these are ready and you have a good reactor, you want to go ahead and use these. Now I'm going to show you exactly how you can get some of the best reactors and the best weapons, so that once you have these materials built, you won't end up wasting them. Keep in mind though, there are a few free ones you can earn in the battle pass. Now once you've started all of those builds, I'm going to show you guys how you can actually go and get these different reactors. That way once those builds are ready, you'll already have reactors that are high level, ready to be slotted into. So the biggest thing to look out for on these reactors is the optimization condition. What it will do is, you can see it says that you have to have specific weapons attached in order to receive the full benefit from the reactor. So what you're going to be doing is trying to find reactors that suit whatever weapon you have on, so that you can actually earn these benefits from the reactor itself. It's going to boost it up about another 20% or so once you have the proper weapons on. So as you can see, this one says Blue Beetle mounting, and it's unchecked. That means I'm not receiving that missed skill power. As you can see, there's 100% missed skill power that I'm not receiving because I don't have the proper things attached. So make sure that you find reactors and things like that that actually can slot in. You'll find reactors that have a scout rifle or a launcher perk, and those are going to be the easiest ones to use. Now after that, go through all of the sensors and memory cores you guys have and try to find a memory core or a processor which actually boosts your drop rate or your XP gain. As you can see here, there's certain components which will actually boost drop rate and XP gain, so that before we even start farming, you'll have a better chance at actually getting drops and leveling up much faster. So once you unlock hard mode, you may be wondering exactly how to actually go and get better gear. Now you're probably wondering, oh, I'll just go do some loot cave or something like that. However, that's not really how it works in this game. Instead, what you want to do is ask yourself what kind of weapon it is that you want to unlock, or what specific piece of gear it is that you need. From there, what you'll want to do is you'll put the game on hard mode and you'll go around to each region. Now, all the enemies on hard are level 100. It doesn't matter which region you go for. They're all going to drop the same level of loot. But what you want to do is you go into these missions, these specific mission loot rewards, and you say to yourself, okay, if I need a scout or a launcher, you find the specific mission that has either the scout or the launcher in it, and then you want to go and farm that for those specific weapons or those specific reactors which drop in these missions. Now, it might say that those reactors only drop purple and things like that, but you still have a chance at getting them to drop gold when running on hard. Now, once you guys have the weapons and reactors and components that you want all leveled up at 100, you're probably wondering, okay, well, what's next after that? From there, what you want to do is find the exact Descendant that you like the most, or one that you're trying to create a really good build for when you're going after one of the bosses. From there, what you'll want to do is actually begin to grind out these Transcendent mods. What these mods do is it takes the ultimate ability of each character and it changes it out for something else. As you can see here, this is one of the Transcendent mods which I was able to receive, and these mods only come out of specific missions. Now, these Transcendent mods will alter your character in such a way that it's actually like using an entirely different class at times, and it will make your character much, much stronger when you build your entire class around these Transcendent mods. So the best thing to do is try to get as many of these Transcendent mods as you can, so that later on when you're trying to do harder activities or certain bosses, you'll have all of these mods and all these perks ready to go to counter whatever it is that you need. Now, another reason why you want to be on another Descendant when you're farming for these components and all these reactors, or really any activity that doesn't require you to have your strongest character on, is because of the mastery ranks. Now, as you get your mastery rank high up, like past level 20, you'll notice that you start to get a lot of capacity for your weapon modules and for your Descendant modules. So what this means is that your base level is going to be much higher, because you'll be able to equip way more mods on your Descendant and way more mods on your character itself. Now, when it comes to endgame, this is the only way to become stronger. So the fact that you'll be able to slot in additional components means that you'll become 10, 20% stronger overall just from leveling up mastery and then putting on the proper mods. Once you've done this, you can go into these hard mode interceptor battles. What you'll notice about these is they drop specific rewards depending on which interceptor battle that you do. Now, these drop the best mods in the game, and each boss at the end has a specific Transcendent mod that it drops. So, for example, I'm running Biessa right now, and I want to try to get a better ultimate perk for her unlocked, so that maybe I can have a better chance of defeating one of these bosses. So what you do is you find the specific mission which drops a mod for your character, and you want to run it a few times until you get that drop. These mods, once leveled up, will make your character way more powerful, and you'll probably have a much easier time not only getting through the hard mode activities, but also on the bosses as well. So these mods will help you to get stronger and stronger builds. Now, depending on the Descendant you run, you want to check the reward. It'll tell you at the bottom of the mod which Descendant you're able to use it on, because you can't use it all the same mods on the same Descendants, especially when it comes to the Transcendent ones. So make sure it's for the right character, find the specific intercept battle which suits your need, and then just simply run that mission until you get the mod. Now, another thing to do in between missions is these void fragments. Now, these void fragments, they'll not only drop you some gold rewards and some gold drops, and they also have their own specific loot between reactors and weapons like that. So you can farm these for the reactors and weapons as well if you don't want to do missions. But not only will they drop those, but they're going to drop the void fragments, which the void fragments you're going to be using to craft ultimate Descendants. So once you've done all of this stuff, you can also begin crafting ultimate Descendants. Now, this is a really long process and will take quite a while, but it is something you can start doing now, and it will help you guys to unlock stronger Descendants, which have a few more extra abilities. So now that you have all the reactors and weapons that you've gotten yourself a launcher, a scout, a sub, and an AR all max level. What you want to do is come back to the Albion. You can use that weapon station to upgrade now that your builds will be finished. And what you'll want to do after that, now that you've actually gotten these mods that you need to make builds for, and the ones that are really, really good, like the Transcendent ones, you're going to actually start to enhance these mods. What it's going to do is it's going to make the mods way more powerful. And so you'll take a mod that actually doesn't do very much, and it'll start to do almost 100 to 150% more than it did originally. So make sure to start upgrading mods and creating your builds for that. Now, you'll notice that these start to take up more points. I'll give you guys a few tips on how you can actually get more points. So you see here in the sub module how it's empty, and right now I only have 46 points. What you want to do is you find yourself a melee mod, upgrade the melee mod all the way, and equip it into that sub slot. And you'll notice that it takes the points that are on the melee mod and actually gives it to your class itself. So now not only do I have a better melee, but I have 10 extra points to spend. Now from here, I think we may have already talked about this, but what you want to do is create a special build, and what you can do is get these crystallization catalysts, which take 36 hours. That's why we talked about it at the beginning of the video. And you start to use your crystallization catalyst on the Descendant itself. What it's going to do is you want to look at these icons, and those icons are associated with specific mods that you have. So at the top of these cards, you'll notice that there's these very small symbols next to the points that it costs for the mod. Match up that symbol with whatever your favorite mod is, and what you can do is whatever the most expensive one is. And what it does once you activate that crystallization catalyst is it makes it cost, those perks cost less that use that same symbol. So as you can see, certain mods, when they're equipped, you can see there I have that C equipped there on that mod slot. So when I actually put the same exact mod there, you can see it turn green. That's because it's now costing me less to equip since I have slotted in that catalyst. Now, this is what makes the Ultimate Descendant so strong, because they actually come with 4 of these slots pre-built on them, meaning that you can equip high level mods right off the bat. You can use way more high level mods because those cost way less on those characters. And that's why I was saying it may be a good idea to start farming those Ultimate Descendants once you get to those super high end bosses and activities, so that you can actually put on those higher level classes. Now, that is literally just about everything that you can do in the end game, at least as of right now. And at first, it can be a little overwhelming and actually extremely confusing, but I'm hoping that this video helps to break down exactly what you're supposed to do, basically in between the end of the game once you beat the story and when you can actually start beating hard mode bosses. Because you may have noticed when going into the first or second hard mode boss, it's extremely hard and you do kind of need a whole team. Now, if your whole entire team follows these steps and you go back into the boss after doing this, you'll come to find out the boss is not as hard as you would think. You just really need to grind out the specific things that you need for whichever descendant you want. Now from here, that's pretty much all I've got for right now. And once I beat a few more bosses and get even further into the end game, I may update this guide with even more info. For now, hopefully this helps you all out, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.